I'm Janice Bradley, and I'm from Wichita, Kansas. I'm with Occupy Wichita. Occupy Wichita has been around for just over a year. We've stood up against the banks, the bailouts, the big corporations, and the politicians. But for the last several months, we've been focused on police brutality, excessive, and lethal force. 5 people are dead from police bullets since October last year in Wichita. People are getting shot when police have an overwhelming choice to use non-lethal measures in given situations. All investigations are done by the WPD, reporting to the Sedgwick County District Attorney. Not once have the police ever found themselves at fault. This really strains credibility. Many of our police officers act with the utmost integrity, displaying great respect for the communities they serve. Others do not. We call upon those decent officers to stand with us, denouncing the reprehensible actions of those who tarnish the department's reputation, making the jobs of all law enforcement officers more difficult and more dangerous. The top brass of Wichita Police Department is not operating in a transparent manner. We are giving the side of those who have been silenced. Marquez Smart, 23 years old, was killed by officers in Old Town after police claimed Marquez opened fire on a crowd. Marquez did not own or have a gun, had no criminal record, and was shot 5 times in the back while running away from the shots in the crowd. Troy Lanning, 24 years old, was unarmed and running away from a car chase when Officer Randy Williamson cornered him in a backyard. Williamson unloaded his clip, shooting Troy 3 times in the back and once in the face. Timothy Freeborn Collins, 17, a juvenile, was killed by officers while surrendering outside a drug house. Timothy was no threat to officers. He was a respected and well-liked student at Northwest High School, and contrary to police claims, he was not in a gang. Timothy did not have a gun and had no criminal record. DeJuan Colbert, 27, was killed at the door of a Dollar General store in a hail of bullets after officers say he charged them aggressively with a knife. The first officer shot 3 .40 hollow point bullets into his body mass at very close range. The second and third officers were so spooked by a 5-foot, 5-inch, tripping, falling, dying man that they unloaded their semi-automatics. 12 out of 33 shots hit their target. This is an example of unnecessary and excessive force. It is shameful and embarrassing. Police authorities responded to questions by providing live training demonstrations in their public relations campaign with the media. Videos on all the networks and the newspapers showed a running man armed with a knife reaching an officer 21 feet away in 2 seconds. These were played extensively after the DeJuan Colbert shooting. The same knife attack videos were trumpeted out immediately following the July 10th shooting of Mama Karen Day Jackson, who was killed by officers claiming she charged at them with a knife. Contrary reports state the folded-up pocket knife was actually in Jackson's purse when she was shot. Non-lethal measures were not tried despite the officers' advanced knowledge of Karen's history of mental illness and despite the fact that Karen was physically incapable of even lifting her own grandchildren and had a custom-made wheelchair and hover-round. Chief Williams, Chief of Police, expressed that Karen Day, a 45-year-old disabled grandmother, aroused such intense fear in the officers, their only option was to take her life with bullets. Top brass in the WPD claim that officers faced with knives have no choice but to open fire. But in prisons across the nation, corrections officers successfully subdue dangerous men with knives. Corrections officers are not allowed to carry firearms, yet they disarm people armed with knives on a daily basis without killing them or injuring themselves. Police should be trained to deal with people with knives without shooting to kill. The Wichita Police Department has treated the families of those shot by its officers with an appalling level of disrespect. The department has withheld information, refused to answer any of the families' questions, made public statements that the families know to be false, and have made atrocious statements in reference to those slain. Occupy Wichita activists call for the Sedgwick County District Attorney and the U.S. Attorney to investigate and convene citizen grand juries on these police shootings. We need an independent and functioning Citizens Review Board.